Mac 2311 for engineers, exam number 4, problem number 14. In this question, they go ahead and they give you the graph. I'm not going to even attempt to draw it. But they go ahead and they say that you have a circle of the equation y equals square root of 4 minus x squared. And they say that what they want you to do is to find the volume of that quarter circle, so it's just in that one quadrant. And what's going to happen is you actually have little squares that you're adding up. So if we just go ahead and draw the two-dimensional picture of it, you end up having this circle right here, and you're going to have this little, you're basically just going to be adding up these little slivers of squares. So you'll be integrating from 0 to 2, because you're going from here to here, and then they go ahead and they tell you that this is 0 and 2. Now, so if we're trying to go ahead and do a volume, we need 3 dimensions. So we're going to have this dimension, that dimension, and then the dimension that's going into the board and coming out of the board. So the horizontal dimension, that's just going to be x, because this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, so we measure this as x. Here, we're going to go ahead and we measure this as y, and we know what y is. It's just going to be this equation right here. But what is going to be that z dimension? What's going to be the dimension going into the board and coming out of it? Well, that's actually going to be the same thing as y, because they tell you that these are exact squares. They're perfect squares. So whatever their height is, that must be their width. And the width in this case of the square is what's coming out of the board or going into the board. So this is also your z dimension. So that means that the volume of this would be the integral from 0 to 2 of x times y times z. And x is this, and y and z are these. So that's just going to give you 4 minus x squared. Now, real quick though, before we actually solve this thing's square, the square root, and the square cancel out, you get this. But you can see that this is only a quarter. And this equation here is actually for a semicircle, not a quarter of a circle. So we need to go ahead and multiply this by 1/2 to go ahead and cut it in half. So, because if they gave us something that was all the way over here, then we could go ahead and ignore that 1/2. But they didn't. So now what we can do is we can just run the x through it. You can see this is going to be 4x minus x cubed. We want to integrate this from 0 to 2. And you can just have that 1/2 floating around. So this has got to come raised up to the 2, divided by 2, so you get 2x squared minus 1/4 x to the 4th power, because you increase by 1 and divide. And you want to evaluate from 0 to 2. And then we still have this 1/2 floating around. So you can see when you plug the 0 in, everything's going to cancel out. So the bottom bound we don't even have to worry about. The top bound, though, we want to plug 2 in and evaluate what that is. 2 squared is 4 times 2, that gives you an 8. And then when you plug 2 into here, 2 to the 4th power is 16. And 16 times 1/4 is 4. So you get 8 minus 4. Which gives you 4, but then you have to multiply it by the 1/2. And now I end up giving you a 2. So 2 will be your answer, and that's actually going to be answer choice A. That's all there is to it.